Well, good morning. Well, as you all know, we have an evangelism ministry going on here at the church, and when I hear about the church starting this pray ministry, it's really encouraging to me because, as Paul says in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, we have to pray without ceasing, right? I remember it was about 14 years ago, and I was in Africa, and so we traveled via conferences on a taxi, and it was a 2-hour drive, and we happened to get a Muslim taxi driver, and I still remember his name today. His name was Nasser, and I wanted to rest during that time, kind of like when you're on a plane, you want to rest, but the person next to you kind of jogs you and wants to get in conversation. Well, Nasser wanted to get in conversation, and so Nasser asked us, he said, "Are you," because there were some other people sitting in the back seat, "are you those born-again Christians?" And so that was God nudging me, and I was like, okay, no rest on this trip. So I started to have a conversation with Nasser, and it's amazing sometimes how God brings things to your mind. So I knew that Nasser was a Muslim because he was wearing the Muslim hat, and he had told us that he was a Muslim. And so I asked Nasser, "Do you pray only 5 times a day?" Because you have to understand that Muslims are required to pray 5 times a day, and they pray in the morning, they pray at noon, they pray at sunset, and they pray again in the evening. And the interesting thing to me is that they have to pray in Arabic.
Why do the Muslims offer salah in Arabic when they do not understand it? Will it not be preferable to offer salah in a local or a regional language?
Sister, if for the sake of argument, if I agree with you that let's offer salah in the local language. So in Bombay, there'll be few people who will say, let's offer in English. Few may say Urdu, few may say Hindi, some may say Gujarati. There will be an infighting. So if the salah is in Arabic, irrespective whether I, as an Indian who don't know French or German, if I go to Germany or France or Spain or any part of the world, if I offer salah, I will at least know what I'm offering and I will know its meaning. And the Arabic adhan is the international anthem of the Muslims throughout the world. International anthem of the Muslims throughout the world. He may belong to any part. He may belong to any part of the world. He will surely understand the meaning of that adhan. It's an international anthem. Therefore, sister, the best advice is that we Muslims should learn the language of the Holy Quran.
90% of the Muslims around the world don't even understand the Arabic language, but they have to pray in a language that they don't even understand. But even though they don't understand it, you can memorize something that you don't understand, right? It becomes very rote, and you just repeat it over and over again. So I asked Nasser, I said, Nasser, since you pray to God 5 times a day and you have to pray to him in a certain language, do you treat your wife the same way? Do you speak to her only 5 times a day in a different language? And he laughed, he chuckled, and he said, well, no, that's different. And I said, well, don't you have an intimate relationship with your wife just like you have with your God? And he said, well, okay. So he was tracking with me. And so I was able to segue from that and transition into a discussion about the gospel. And praise God that Nasser did trust Christ on that day. So the point of the story is that we have to be prepared at all times. And as Paul says in Ephesians 6:18, to pray on all occasions. And so we need to pray before we evangelize, pray during, and pray after. So I appreciate the prayer ministry that the church has going on. Thank you.